It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. Oh, I forgot that. I know you guys tell me that you don't like the hi. It's just a matter of a habit. I'm a creature of habit, and I will stop doing it. I'm sorry. I am going to work on myself. All right, guys. Well, with everybody in the room, go ahead, smash that like button. Almost 70 in the room already. And don't forget, this is a subscribers-only live chat. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so in the future, you know what's coming up. And we do have a couple exciting things coming up this week, by the way, especially right before the holidays. With that, guys, I want to go ahead and welcome Jason. And I have a secret that I have to tell Jason, and I have to tell him on here with you guys, only so he doesn't rip my head off and I feel more comfortable with you guys being here. So smash that like button. Here we go. Hi, Jason.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. So
is that because you had me on mute and I was going through all of this? Yeah, that's exactly what it was. All right, cool.
All right, guys. So we were taking a minute because we didn't know Jason just got off of his live with Femtero, which was amazing, by the way. You guys lasted for 2 hours. I was like, what the hell is going on? But Jason was on his live with Femtero, and then he came on, and I'm like, I can't hear you. He's like, what the? And I was like, I can't hear anything you're saying. And then all of a sudden, I went to test my mic before going on, and Jason restarted his computer, and it wasn't playing that did before you test it. And I was like, what's wrong? And I turned my sound on. Sorry, Jason.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, I want to get into the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip because I'm loving this season. I'm loving this new franchise, and I think it's great, especially on Peacock. The production value is incredible. I feel like we're getting to the point every time. And not only that, breaking the fourth wall, the way that they're doing it, for me, is like a kid in a candy shop. It's like Christmas for me.
I love it. You know, I was just talking about this on my live with Femtero about how just different they are choosing to film this. Like, I love it. I love everything they're doing. It feels fresh. It feels new. And also, you know, this afternoon, we were just bored and watching like reruns of Orange County season, I don't even know what, when Tamra and Shannon and Megan are sitting around talking about how they might not believe Brooks and his diagnosis and the PET scan thing.
Which was right.
But I was sitting there, I'm like, I love this. And then we got to see Vicky's daughter, who I miss, you know.
Yeah, Brianna.
It just was done differently. And I think they've gotten Bravo, especially with some of these franchises, has just gone left on so many things. It's nice to see them formalize it in a better way, and I really enjoy this. I feel like I'm on vacation with the Housewives. I like they're dropping a lot of their stuff, you know, their facades that they usually have to put on to be characters on these shows, and just be almost more authentic.
I agree with that. All right, guys. Well, we're under 3.5 minutes in, and we already have 100 people in the room. So go ahead, smash that like button. I want to go through, Jason, catch me up really quick. How we started this off, it was with Teresa and Ramona having a conversation, and also with Luann and Michael flirting. By the way, I just want to say this really quick. If this was my husband just running out here in Turks and Caicos, and if you guys didn't watch the episode, letting Luann take a shot out of his mouth,
I have to say, okay, because I was kind of on your bandwagon with that beforehand, but I'm sure he has a very beautiful wife, a very secure wife, who knows that he's just trying to play up the show with these, you know, other women, older.
Well, yeah, but I get that.
And Luann, like, come on.
I think that he honestly, listen, Luann is still hot for where she's at in her life, and like she's definitely older than him, but she's still a beautiful woman, you know. And I think that he really does enjoy flirting with her, and she is a flirt.
Something happens to Luann when she's in the Turks and Caicos. We don't know what it is, but something happens.
That's fair.
She falls in bushes. She sleeps with pirates. Like, you know. So I don't know. Yeah, I did think too the conversation between Teresa and Ramona it's so interesting. These are two people who I don't ever see having a conversation like this.
No, and you know, I feel like for Teresa has almost everything that Ramona wants, I think. Like, Teresa is the head woman of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And I know Ramona thinks she is too, but really it's like there are other key players. Whereas like Teresa it is the Teresa show. She has found love. At least that's what she feels like it is because she's engaged now. And I think that she's in a place in her life where Ramona wishes that she was. But Ramona also is still she's a little bit freaky. Like she's out here. If you guys missed the episode, she's taking topless photos, sending them to guys. Allegedly, we see her where she's like running around. She does not seem like the type of person who can be tamed into a relationship. Yeah. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
I feel like she would be a swinger.
Who?
Ramona.
No, I don't think Ramona would be a swinger. I feel like
open relationship.
No, because all the women, have said that Ramona doesn't like talking about sex, and she's like more conservative with that kind of discussion. But then she kind of has like a freaky, kinky side. But I don't think it's like that. I think she's just Ramona is very.
Okay.
I don't know what to say about Ramona, really.
Okay, fair. Now, guys, I'm going to ask you the same thing I'm about to ask Jason in the live chat. Go ahead and answer. But what do you think about Louis giving a card to Teresa to wake up to every single day? I think it was 7 or 8 cards. But do you think this is too much? Is he trying too hard? Are you here for it? It's cute. You like it. What is it? How are you feeling? And guys, comment in the live chat.
Oof. Am I supposed to answer that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about that because, we haven't been really introduced too much to Louis yet. Louis, right? Louis.
Yeah, Louis.
I want to call him Louis. We haven't been too introduced to him, so I'm not really sure. So part of me thinks it's cute. Part of me thinks it's obnoxious. So I don't know. I don't know because that is what I'm looking forward to the most in just the Jersey franchise is that relationship. And if Teresa can actually have a stable, significant other after going through everything she has been through.
Right. All right. No, I agree with that. And, one of the funny things that we get to see on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip is like the moments, for example, when they were in the car and Kenya was talking to Kyle about that goodbye, Kyle moment. And then they pan back and they see it. And now Kyle's saying, letting us into a little bit behind the scenes of what her daily's like. And she's like, if I'm walking down the street in Beverly Hills or a car will like go past me and they'll be like, goodbye, Kyle. And it's just funny that little things like this, like they stick, like the table flip or, Ken yelling for Kyle to get out of his house. It's just like it's random. It's stupid, but it's funny.
Ken wasn't going to leave that show without his own memorable
trademark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like hearing about the different women and how they're reacting in this environment as opposed to their own franchises. I think Kenya had a great example of that when she said, on my franchise, I'm always made out to be the villain. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you did walk into Marlo's event and with your whole band of, workers, employees saying, Kenya, more hair care. Like you do villainize yourself just to be 100%. However, I am seeing a different, version of Kenya. And I hated seeing her crying on, TV. And I hate seeing what she's going through with her divorce. But it looks like an absolute shit show. This is why I'm just not. I hate divorce.
You know what I have to say? Okay, so I asked my chat this, and because I just did the live with Femtero, we do our wiki key every week, and we just kind of key about Bravo topics and talk some astrology, and today we talked about the Real Housewives of Potomac and their star signs, and if it resonates, if their star sign resonates with viewers and translates on television, and so we were talking about that, but we were really also talking about all the things that we were looking forward to this week, and especially the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and how fun it is. But I asked everybody in my live chat, has it changed your view or your mind on some of these ladies, watching this show? Because I'm really loving Kenya. I've
always liked Kenya.
I know, but just in general, I was like, okay, I've liked her on the show, but like, I really like her. And then Real Housewives of New York, I'm like, okay, Luann, done. We don't need to see another cabaret. We don't need to like go through blah, blah, blah. But I'm loving Luann. She's reminding me that, okay, maybe we do need some OGs. I don't know, whatever. I'm really liking everyone Except I do have to say, even Kyle and Melissa, I'm
you going to say you don't like Ramona?
Ramona and Cynthia for me are probably the weakest links of the show.
Okay, so listen. I think
not in a bad way, just it's a good show. But
Portia was originally supposed to be the Real Housewives, one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast members on the season, and then she got busy. But I would have loved to have seen her in Kenya, because I know people are like, well, we do need some sense of calm, and I get that, but we need people who have also conflict with each other. That way we can see if we can get some sort of resolve or resolution. And I think that Portia and Kenya would have been great. Cynthia on the show, she's giving us sweet moments, and I think she's a voice of reason sometimes. And she did kind of go off the wall a little bit with that whole Kenya relationship, doing her own thing, bonding with the other women. But
we're seeing a side of Cynthia I don't think we've really seen before.
Yeah, she looked like a jealous Cynthia.
Yeah, jealous, temperamental. Like, it's just like, what the hell is going on? It's just not the Cynthia we're used to seeing. And I'm finding that these ladies, we're getting maybe more of a truer tone of who they are. Although, like, I don't see Cynthia like that at all. I mean, we've met her, we know her a little bit. She doesn't give me that, like, but that laid back. I like seeing the more authentic versions of them, and a couple of them that I was done with on their certain franchises, I'm really growing to like, and I'm growing to like miss. I'm like, oh, I think I miss you on the show. Like, I can't wait to watch Atlanta with Kenya. I can't wait till New York ever comes back and see if Luann's going to be there. And this is also making me really want to watch the next Ultimate Girls Trip too.
I see. And I was going to say really quick, I also love the format of how they're doing this. I know that I've talked a little bit briefly about breaking the fourth wall, but also how each woman gets a designated day and they get to kind of take over the activities for that entire day and that night. Like Melissa, this episode wanting to take everybody buggy riding, and nobody wanted to do it except for Kenya. And then having a sleepover and having these fun little games. I like how each person, even though, again, Cynthia dropped the ball because the Bailey Cube was probably my least favorite, but I do love you, Cynthia. I like how they're producing this. And for, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, it's going to be even more interesting because as much as we love the Bluestone Manor, we know that Dorinda does not go around when it comes to being inappropriate in her house. She makes it nice. Oh, by the way, guys, 250 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. And if you guys want, I Made It Nice holiday merch is up right now in my store. I just on my community tab. There's sweaters, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, you name it, they're there. Okay, so, and guys, by the way, in the live chat too, I want to ask you guys, do we like this design? It's by a woman named Amy Morelli, and I also tagged her company inside of the community post. But go ahead and let me know if you like the design. Say it in the live chat. Anyways, getting back to it. For Dorinda, with these women coming into her home, I'm like, she's going to have her claws out because she's not going to tolerate it.
Well, okay, so I don't know the entire cast. I've forgotten of the second one, but I don't think we have a Ramona who's wanting to choose rooms. So that is already one thing she won't have to deal with.
I think Vicky's also pretty bad about that.
Oh, really?
And somebody just asked, can't wait to see Bernadette. Can't wait to see who gets the fish room. Me either.
And I wonder if the fish room has been like revamped a little bit.
Well,
I wonder if it's gonna be extra fishy.
It's on. Well, now Bluestone Manor, you can Airbnb it, and I wonder if she kind of asked them, or she agreed to letting them film it at the Bluestone Manor, so it could get pressed for Airbnb, so she could just rent it out for a shit ton of money. Because I'm sure, it's have you seen the grounds of Bluestone Manor? The place is insane, and people will want to stay there just because in some crazy cockamamie ridiculous world, it's a part of Bravo history. So people love it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, we're sleeping in Dorinda's bed right now. This is crazy. What? It's weird. Theo said, I'll take the fish room. All right. Well,
some people said they heard it was Phaedra. Some people says that there's no more fish room. There has to be the fish room.
There
has to be the fish room.
All right. I did want to also touch on one thing that Luann revealed when they were talking about, things that happened behind the scenes. She mentioned briefly about Bethany Frankel sharing with her the fact that her at the time fiance, Tom DiAgostino, was caught cheating. I believe it was at the Regency. And Luann mentioned how kind of shitty it was for Bethany to bring this up on camera. She said, as a good girlfriend, you should have brought it up off to the side. But then in my head, only because sometimes I think about this with a producer's cap on, it made sense for Bethany to ask her on camera because they still have a job to do and they're supposed to be documenting their real lives and real reactions.
At the same time, I thought it was different because they were each talking about different situations that had happened, on their shows. And I thought this was different because everyone knew that people have dated Tom before. Didn't Sonia Ramona date Tom?
Yeah.
Or sleep with him or something? Like, this guy already had a reputation. It was already part of the show. So I feel like that wasn't something. I think Luann might have blown that a little bit out of proportion because it really had to do with the show.
Okay. I mean, it's still her personal life. And now if you guys have been reading this Dave Quinn's Not All Diamonds and Rosé book, then you would know that they're trying to say I believe she said it, Jill Zarin said it, and maybe someone else. Oh, Ramona agreed to it too, that Bethany set up this whole cheating scandal as a storyline for the show anyways, like set Tom up. But in my mind, I'm thinking there's no fucking way that you can set him up. This man decided to lock lips with this other woman, regardless of whether or not Bethany said take a photo of it or sent a good-looking friend in there to bait him. I don't know what happened, but at the end of the day, he still had to engage in the action, which he did, and he was very engaged in both ways. You were going to get exposed regardless, whether it was on reality 100%. TV or if it was in the press.
100%.
All right. Well, Jason, I didn't even ask you, but if you had to rate this week's episode, the episode of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip that they keep dropping on us without giving us any insight. But then I said that and complained about it to Jason earlier. He was like, it's streaming. This is what they do.
This is what I live for, though. I'm glad they dropped a few episodes because I think if they would have just dropped one, we didn't know what to expect from this, right? So they dropped 3 where you could really get into it. It's a smart decision. It is streaming, so I mean, I just love watching with no commercials. I have to say that I love getting through it, and
I like that too.
I love how they did drop 3. I don't know if they're going to do that with the next season, but this is a new thing, a new platform for the Housewives to be on. It's a new show. It's a new format. So I thought it was important that they did that. But I'd love to see them drop like a few every time. Like I just think it's fun.
It's so hard to keep up with though. But in Viz08, why are you all defending Bethany? I'm not necessarily defending her. I just don't think that it's her fault if Tom was locking lips with another woman. And also her sharing it on camera. I just think back to a documentary that I saw of Lauren Conrad from The Hills. And she said that they weren't even in production. She was breaking up with her boyfriend, Jason. And she called MTV and said, I'm about to break up with my boyfriend. They picked up the cameras and they ran over there immediately because they needed the stories to connect. And she said that MTV told her, had they have done that on camera, she would have been in breach of contract. So it makes me think, well, why wouldn't we just get the story anyways? Because we're going to get it regardless.
No, of course. And then like, even when you say personal life, you are on a reality show. You've chosen to put yourself on a reality show. You've chosen to have a relationship with someone who's been in some capacity in a relationship with 2 other women on the show. It is really part of the show. This guy had a reputation. Like, regardless, like, no one's defending Bethany, but I'm not defending the whole like, oh, it's your personal life thing, because I think that was very different from, the other stories we were hearing.
And one thing about getting back to Peacock, well, not Peacock, but Ultimate Girls Trip, one thing that I'm enjoying right now too is the fact that for the ladies, they're opening up about stuff that, we've heard about and heard rumors of, but we've never heard them address it. And one of those rumors was Kenya Moore and that guy, I think his name was Walter, saying that she paid him to be around. I'm thinking in my head, she is this beautiful woman who has a business. I mean, she is a 10. He was like a 4. So how are you going to go with this narrative and do radio shows and interviews and say, Kenya Moore paid me to be around? I'm not buying that. I mean, did you buy it?
No, I didn't. I've never bought that story. And no. There are so many more produced moments in those shows that was one I didn't really buy.
Yeah, I agree with that. And another moment that was an inside moment that we got, and maybe one of these TMI moments, by the way, 350 in the room, guys, go ahead, smash that like button. That's a lot in the room for Ultimate Girls Trip. You guys are awesome.
And for a Sunday, when do you go live on Sundays?
Yeah, I know. LOL, Walter was a 4. Okay. Walter is married with 2 kids now. Good. Leave him there. All right. Kyle, guys, if you didn't watch this episode, they had this like little, it was like a pajama party. And at this pajama party, you see all of the girls sitting around. There's Melissa, there's Kyle, there's Teresa. Melissa, it was her night, and she got everybody matching pajamas from Envy. Now, at this pajama party, they're playing champagne pong or whatever, and they have to ask or answer a question if the other team gets the ball in. One of the questions was, where was the craziest place that you've hooked up with your significant other or in general? And she said that she was at a black tie event at a table with 10 people, and she had full-on intercourse with Maurizio. Legitimate, like she said, she pulled up her dress. What?
That's a story maybe like she shouldn't be telling.
You don't, like, you still have kids. They're still in school. You're telling people that, and who's going to want to sit at a table with you again? If I ever sat at a table with Kyle Richards and I was one of her friends and I see her sit in Maurizio's lap, I'm going to be like, no, get a room. No.
Yeah, no, never again. I do. One of my favorite moments from this episode, I do have to say, was when they finally got to where they were eating and that, at the table after being on the go-kart things. What were those?
They were like little buggy. They were weird.
But when they said buggy, I was thinking like, sand dunes and stuff like that.
I was thinking like an
buggy.
ATV.
Yeah, no, same. Anyway, where they got to where they were, and reading the questions, when they got to the table and they're reading the questions, I thought it was so interesting to share so much. Like even when they were saying, when the ladies order a drink on the show, like they show the drink, they show the food, you have to order right away, and sharing all of those moments, even before the Twister stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
It's like, no, it's like giving us an insight behind production, which I love. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you're letting the Real Housewives be Real Housewives. We're not really, censoring their conversation too much. You're getting that fourth wall broken. And that was one of my favorite scenes. But the Twister thing, that was a lot of fun. The champagne pong was a lot of fun. And I just appreciated, I think, the stories that they shared about being on the show, about their personal lives. I just thought it was more, like I said, just authentic and relatable, as we have been watching these women for years and years on television.
And I also think it plays into what Dana Wilkie said that one time we had her on, and we were talking about Beverly Hills, and she said Crystal Kung Minkoff looks like she doesn't want to be at the table. It was that conversation where you said you were disappointed that Crystal didn't stick up for Garcelle.
Yeah.
And, she said, you have to remember that these women are at the table sometimes for 4 to 6 hours filming this scene. So they're at the table for a long time. And it blows your mind because there really is so much. And I sometimes like to put on my producer's cap, but I don't know every detail, from miking them up to sitting them down to saying you have 4 minutes to order this, make sure you look this way when you do it, speak very clear, make sure you know what I mean? There's a lot that goes into this, and we just watch it like, oh, who are these fools? And it's like, well, it's not. This is a whole production. It's a job.
No, 100%. And yeah, I just love, I think, sorry to go off the episode a little bit, but just back to the whole format of the show, I really do appreciate it. It's kind of like an ode to the Housewives, and it's it bringing us back to what I think we like to watch. Because, as I said at the beginning of this, when we were watching, let's say, OC earlier today, like earlier seasons, or before when we were watching like Ladies of London or earlier seasons of Beverly Hills, it just felt different. And it's like we kind of get that back in this series. We kind of get that old school feeling, but with like a new look and a new show. The way the shows run is different. And I really enjoy it.
I want to play a game with you really quick.
Oh, do you know what I have to say before we play the game? Is how like there has been, how there has been rumors of like people who would possibly appear on the third season of this? Because now we have 2 and we know that the casts of both.
Right.
But there have been rumors of like Lisa Vanderpump, Bethany, and we brought up Lisa Vanderpump. We brought up Bethany in this episode, and I just thought it was interesting.
Okay.
I was
that's
wondering
true.
if that is kind of like a hint of what's to come.
I don't think so. I don't
You
think
don't
so.
think that they would want to go on an 8-day vacation and rebuttal things that might have been said about them on a previous season?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think that they will. First of all, Bethany and Lisa don't have time. But I was going to ask you.
We think.
Okay. I was going to ask you, and guys, again, don't forget to smash the like button. I want to ask you guys in the live chat too. Who is your dream ultimate girls trip cast? Jason, we're going to play a game really quick. You're going to say a name, then I'm going to say a name, and we're going to say 8 names, but we have 3 seconds to spit out a name, and that's going to be our cast for season 3.
Can it be, for season 3? So not any of the ladies who are on these seasons. So I got to think about that for a second.
Okay.
Okay,
okay guys, also comment in. I'm going to start. Actually, I'll kick us off. We're going to say 8 names. Ready?
Yeah.
LVP.
Well, Bethany Frankel, because I would love to see both of them.
Dorinda Medley.
She's already going to be on it. I thought we were doing one.
Nene Leakes.
Ah, you took mine.
Come on.
Erica Jane.
Really? Heather Dubrow.
Oh gosh, you took mine too.
Yeah.
For some weird reason, and I don't know if it's just because I watched it today, I'd love to see Tamra Judge.
Jen Shaw.
Yeah, that's a given.
You could say Mary Cosby because that would be
they could
funny.
do their trip to jail, and we can all go see jail.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Mary Cosby. Hold on. I'd love to see Heather Gay in that house.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one.
I think that would be fun. She would hold.
She would be a good time.
She'd be a good centerpiece to the cast.
You know, it's kind of sad watching or thinking about Ultimate Girls Trip season 2 because it's like watching Toy Story for me. And you see like where they go into the room of all the broken toys and they're like the ones that get shelved and put behind. And, you know, the first girls trip, they get this exotic, you know, paradise vacation to Turks and Caicos. And then the second one, somebody's ass is getting the fish room. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like this is what they give you, which I'm not knocking Bluestone Manor. I'm just saying Triton Villas in Turks and Caicos, which is amazing. Or the fish room.
Or the fish room. And where would they go next? That's the other thing. It's like, okay, what is the next possibility?
I think it would be something winter. I feel like they're on this winter kick.
Skiing kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it would be something winter where they all have to be like in the house and kind of intimate, but they get to go do certain things like ski or whatever. But I feel like it would be a winter setting. That's a great question. By the way, R. Petrick said Adam is getting crazy. No.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I mean, you've been crazy for a long time.
Let's hear some of these suggestions. Bethany, Lisa, Nene, Candy, Whitney, Candace, Stephanie, and that pink woman from Dallas. Cameron Westcott. Okay. Roseman Ranch said Vicky, Candy, LVP, Bethany, Nene, Erica, Mary, and Candace.
I forgot about Candace. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Wait, you should do. Oh, sorry. I'm going to read this last one. Mocha Rain, Erica, Jen Shaw, Dolores, Margaret, LVP, Heather, Tamra, and Sheree. All right. There's some good ones in here. And Cindy Thomas said Aspen. Yeah.
Aspen would be cool. And then also they should do like a spin-off of just the moms and send them on a trip. It'd be, one and done, but it'd be fun.
I mean, if you listen,
Mama
I'm
Joyce,
all for, I really wish
Dorothy, Mama D.
Oh,
sorry.
no.
It's just like all of them together. Can you imagine?
We don't need that.
And then it would just be like this really fun show. They probably all get along, just talk shit about their daughters, just film it for 3 episodes, send them somewhere.
No, nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. But what I would really love is I'm hopeful that since we know, Dubai is in production right now, I hope that they take some ways of producing and editing and filming the way they are doing with Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip and this breaking of the fourth wall and talking about things that are happening behind the scenes instead of trying to give us like this, what they're calling an organic storyline with these transitions that don't make sense. Like Lisa Barlow saying, oh, before you go, Meredith, there's this guy right here from Mary's congregation after she just yelled at me in the last scene that I want you to meet.
Yeah. Cut, take 2 steps to the left, hit your mark. Okay. Ready, go, action.
That's my God. She said, what? She's very dangerous. Oh, Meredith, I have to go. I can't be a part of this conversation because someone wants to take a photo. Come on.
Yeah, it was very that's what I really like about watching Ultimate Girls Trip. Like,
It's
you can't
organic.
do that. You really can't. You don't have the time. It's just like it's all happening at once. You're having like 8 days. What is it? 8 days?
Well, that's the thing too, is like, you can't fault the Housewives for this. Yes, you have 8 days, but I even had this conversation with Fallon, and just thinking about Portia and some of the great housewives that we have, the ones who really know how to do it, like LVP, Portia, Bethany, these women come in or onto the show into that season knowing what to do and what their storyline's going to be. That's why they stick around. It's the ones who come in and who are like, I want to be friends with everyone, or I want to fight with everyone because I'm going to show them. Those are the ones who like don't make it more than a season. And on Ultimate Girls Trip, you don't have a moment to come in and try to make this BS storyline. And we did see a glimpse of it because Ramona, it said in the papers before they even started the trip, in the blogs, it said, watch Ramona accidentally call Kenya Portia. And she's already admitted to reading about her name in the headlines. So she probably saw that and said, oh, I'm going to give my fans what they want. Hey, Portia. She's like, I'm Kenya, asshole. What do you mean?
We never got to the bottom of who might be talking to, because I guess on Twitter or whatever, when was it, why am I blanking here?
I don't know.
When they were showing like, the ladies have arrived in Turks and Caicos and this has already happened. It was very detailed. It's like someone within the group was like passing information along to like a blogger or something.
I still think it was Kenya.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because she followed the person?
I think it was Kenya because we've had this happen before on the Real Housewives. By the way, guys, go ahead and comment in the live chat who you think it was. Nicole already said Kenya. The guy Kenya is linked to. Okay, so the reason I think it's Kenya is because Strippergate got leaked on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then they all sat around and they were trying to figure out who it was. And that was the moment where you said, or you saw Kenya say, it wasn't me. If it comes from Love B. Scott or someone else, then that's when you know it's me. But this person, it wasn't me. And it's like, okay, this has happened to you once and now it's happening again. You're the only person the guy follows. They have real details, so it's not like they're speculating what's going on.
It was too specific. It's like it had come from within.
It's Kenya.
I mean, for sure. Kenya. So that makes sense.
Totally Kenya. I think it was Kyle. Okay.
Kyle was my original thought.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Unless Kyle's that smart and then she's pinning it on Kenya.
I did that video, and we did a video which you were on, and we were talking about, I think it was when we did the Diamonds and Rose thing on my channel, but I brought up a lot of Radar Online where you saw there were stories about Kyle, Kim, Kathy joining the show, and they all talked about Kyle in a very positive light. It was all written by the same person, and it was like it was being fed to her. So that's why I don't put it past Kyle.
That's fair. That's fair.
I brought up all of those tweets, and I brought up the receipts so...
Bernadette said, goodbye, Kyle.
Nah. Goodbye, Kyle.
All right. So as we get through the rest of this Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, there were a couple things I agreed with. One of them was Cynthia saying, I don't want to be in this little bitty car going down the highway. I would also be like that. One, because I can't drive. And two, because that looked very scary. So I'm not adventurous. Yeah. I'm not Kenya. You guys can keep your buggying to yourself. Anyways, moving forward, the next thing that I really enjoyed was, again, the conversations that they had during the slumber party, watching the women open up and be able to have fun. There wasn't really any conflict. And right now that does feel like a feel-good piece, especially after having such a dark Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Salt Lake City is about to get very dark with the mood and the tempo. Somebody is looking at over 50 years in prison. Like, the mood is definitely about to change on the show. And knowing that we have Ultimate Girls Trip, which is light, airy, fluffy, fun. We're getting, Karen Huger's new show, which we know is going to be a feel-good family, light, good, airy, fun. It makes me happy because even I've heard you say a million times, this like makes me feel negative. And I'm like, get over it. We have to talk about it.
It's like they're listening because we don't want to see all the nonsense, between like Monique and Candace or Candace, and Mia throwing lettuce. It's just like, it's just gotten too, I don't know, just negative. And it just feels like I really like seeing like this is a little lighter.
I agree with that.
That would be a little lighter, just lighthearted. And I think that's what's going to make Karen's show successful as well.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, and I wanted to tell you really quick. So apparently Mia Thornton right now, the women, Real Housewives of Potomac, and guys, almost 450 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. But Mia Thornton is taking out her implants and some of her fillers in her face. And people are now slamming Dr. Wendy Osefo and a few other people saying it's because of you that she's doing this, because you guys were so hypercritical on her plastic surgeries and her body. That's another moment where I'm like, wait a minute, you can't blame other people. She's the one who got the fillers and the boob job and everything else. My stepmom got hers done twice and then got them taken out. Like, if she wants to, you can't, it doesn't always have to be someone's fault. It's your fault. No, maybe she just wants to do that. It doesn't
always, it's
you know what I mean? Like, that gets annoying.
But that's why, and like, even, I was telling you this earlier, even, Sunday nights used to be like kind of exciting because I really do enjoy Potomac. It's one of my favorite shows, and Salt Lake. But lately, like, if I'm not in the mood that day to watch it, sometimes I just don't want to watch it because it's not going to make me feel any kind of way. Usually it's going to make me feel like negative.
Yeah.
And that's all, with the whole Jen Shaw thing. It's like, okay, we have another like there's one civil case, one criminal case. Just like, it's like, oh, I don't want to watch this. I want to watch, what I look forward to is when the Ultimate Girls Trip comes out, because it's just fun. And if they get into it a little bit, like watching Cynthia and Kenya even have a conversation felt like enough drama for me. Watching Melissa and Teresa talk about how she got on the show was enough for me. I like seeing that. That's okay. I don't need the table to be flipped.
I agree. Okay. And, speaking of which, and I don't mean to get into like a negative place, but we will have Emily D. Baker joining us on our channel on Tuesday to talk about this Jen Shaw, Stuart Smith, what's next in the case now that he's decided to take a plea deal and he pled guilty to 3 counts. So she's going to help us break this down in a way that we can all understand. And I always love having her opinion.
Yeah. For me, that's positive because we're learning.
But that's at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. But yes, Jason. And Jason even said to me too, he's like, I don't think that you should always talk about the legal stuff unless you have Emily or somebody on, because that way everyone always knows with every video, when you mention any of the legal situations, they know that it's coming from a good, credible person who really knows the legal system, which I agree with.
It's also someone who can say it in a way where we would understand it, not like, the plaintiff, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, some jury talk. No, but to get back to the Ultimate Girls Trip really quick, I wonder if we're going to meet Michael's wife.
Oh my God, how funny would that be if at the end? Would that be
amazing? Yes.
Or if we find out like she was like the chef the whole time or something.
No, that's his mom.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, but I just think it would be, if she just like rolled up, or maybe she's already there, like you said, and we don't know yet. I just think that is a funny storyline. That's who you need an interview with, Adam. We need to get in touch with Michael.
But you know what's funny? With Michael, or like if they did bring in his wife at the end, it would give it that sort of comedic, because the way that they come in, they're like, welcome to the island, Real Housewives. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun and it has like a good vibe. And at the end, you know how sometimes on the Housewives they end and they're like, Ramona is no longer available, ... for anybody but herself. And then they're like, ha, and then they go into the next one. It would be funny if at the end there's a knock and Luann opens the door and she's like, hello, who are you? She's like, Michael's wife. I'm looking for Michael. And then cut. That would be funny. And whatever. All right. Well, with Jason, with that, did we miss anything?
No, I just thought it was just, again, interesting. And even just watching, Kyle go into Kenya's room without the cameras, and then Cynthia wanting to come in with cameras. This is stuff that is interesting, and not to be repetitive, because I know we talked about this last time, but I love how they're doing their confessionals, how they have to go self-tape. And
I have to say something really quick, because you just made me think about something. Luann sat at the table and said, Cynthia is the kind of friend, she would never do that to me and bring up the Tom D'Agostino cheating on camera because she's a good friend. But then if you think about it, and I think that Cynthia is a great friend, but she just as easily didn't even think about, she heard Kenya crying. Kyle heard Kenya crying. Kyle walked in and said to the camera people, stay out. And she acknowledged that Kenya obviously would not want to film while she's breaking down. And Cynthia just walked in and she's like, come on, camera people, like, here we go. And Kenya's like, are you kidding me? Really?
That's okay. Maybe Cynthia was trying to have one last hurrah.
All right. Well, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, guys, 466 in the room. I want to go ahead really quick and put this up here. Jason, before or while I'm getting this up for everyone, what do you have coming up?
What do I have coming up? Well, we just did a great live today that I'm still like thinking about. It's so fun. But tomorrow at 11 a.m., we have our Real Housewives of Potomac recap on my channel with you. We've been recapping that the whole season. And then also at noon tomorrow, you and I are on Kempire's channel for our rotating Real Housewives of Salt Lake recap, where we rotate on each other's channels, which is a lot of fun. And then Tuesday night, I have Anchor Watch at 11 p.m. We do a late night Anchor Watch below deck recap kind of chat, and it always turns into something fun. So that's what I have coming up. We also have Thanksgiving in the middle of Florida this week.
Thanksgiving, guys, you have no idea. Thanksgiving is going to be crazy. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm posting this in the chat for you guys right now in case anybody is interested for the holiday merch here. Let me go ahead and pin that. That way it's boom, done right there. All right. And by the way, guys, I wanted to bring this up before we go. Thanksgiving is going to be a shit show, and we will do our best to make it on here on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday is going to be a no-brainer. We'll definitely be here. Thursday and Friday, we're going to try to film as much as possible while spending family time, but we won't.
I feel like I'm going to do a behind-the-scenes documentary into Adam's crazy family.
Oh my God. You're going to know.
Maybe you should, if you're not
maybe
subscribed
people
to
will
Down with
feel bad
Jason,
for
you
me.
should go to Down with Jason right now, push subscribe, and I
Okay.
promise you at least a video.
Okay. All right, guys, I did attach the link in the live chat for the merch. If you guys are interested, it's not just this. I just used an example, but it's I made it nice for holiday merch, and it comes in sweaters, t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, everything else. And I posted the link, and you guys can also catch it in the community tab if you guys are interested. And if you guys ever do buy the merch, then send me a photo. I've been tagged in a few of them, and I always love seeing them. So thank you. Thank you. Also, we have almost 500 people in the room, guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, smash that like button. I promise you, in upcoming pre-records, I am going to stop on my, hey, guys. I'm going to continue to let
for live. When you go live, you can hey us.
I'm going to let you guys continue to change me and mold me into the person that you want me to be, to where eventually I have no creative bones left in my body.
Okay. Not too much. Not too much.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Was that a little extreme? Was that extreme?
Yeah, a little bit. No.
Okay. All right. I'm just kidding. All right. Love you guys. Jason, where can we find you?
You can find me at Down with Jason. Catch us tomorrow for our Potomac recap at 11 a.m. I'm so excited for this reunion tonight because people are already talking about Nicki Minaj. Are we getting some of her, or are we just getting her introduced tonight? I'm curious. So I'm also excited for Potomac to be over because we're running into these long reunions and it's making it just a bit, you know what? I know you didn't ask me what I was excited about, but I'm telling you.
Okay.
But you can find me at Down with Jason, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for our Real Housewives of Potomac recap.
All right. No Sun with the Audra. Are y'all hosting Thanksgiving, Adam and Jason? No, we're not. We're going glamping. Okay. First name, last name. Don't bother for Thanksgiving, guys. Enjoy your family. Life is short. I agree. Murray, have a great day, everyone. Jericho, y'all keep me entertained. I'm in the hospital and haven't missed a thing. Jericho, we're sending you all the positive and all the love. And all right. Well, with that, guys, thank you to all of our super chats. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to everyone in the room for participating. Tomorrow we'll be back for Hot Messy Topics at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, we'll have so many other things going on. So stick with us. We're almost at 91,000 subscribers. 9 more thousand until we get that silver play button. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Have some drinks, but not too many.